Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about warming up your car, and I'm talking mainly in colder temperatures. We just had a bad snowstorm. We have several inches of snow on the ground, but what's making it worse is we have a couple inches of ice on top of that. Temperatures are very low, and I just wanted to go out to the vehicle. We're going to take a look at it and talk a little bit about, should you be warming up your vehicle? If so, how long to let it idle? Things like that. Let's head outside and get started.
And coming out here, like I just said, we have this snow and ice, very cold. It was in single digits down below zero last night, but we'll check the temperature when we get in the vehicle. But coming here, and you can hear that as I'm stepping on this right here, the crunching. This is all ice. So we come in the vehicle here, and this will show us the outside temperature. So if we look right up here in the left-hand corner there, it's 10 degrees. And like I said, it was a lot colder than that during the night. So this car has been out in very cold temperatures. Let's start it up and I'll show you here. So if you look at the RPMs, we're looking at about 1600 right here. This car normally should be running at around 700 RPMs. So what I like to do is I like to let it idle until the RPMs drop. If you're dealing with very cold temperatures like this, it could be 60 seconds or a little bit longer. When it's not as cold, it'll just be a few seconds to drop. But I normally wait for that before I take off. And also right here, I look for that needle to start to rise above the cold for the water temperature, especially if you're trying to thaw out your windshield or heat up the car. So we'll be right back. And you can see right here, we've let it idle a little bit. Now the RPMs are where they need to be. Also, if we look here at the water temperature here on this side, you can see that that looks really good as well. I don't recommend waiting for that because you don't want the car to be idling too long. But in this case here, because it's very cold, I wanted the heat to be working. So at that point is when I'll start taking off. I usually wait for it to be like that. So let's get this thing out on the road. Now, if you look at the RPMs, because the transmission fluid is still kind of cold, you want to be careful with that too. That's another reason why I let it idle, let the transmission fluid warm up. That way it shifts better. If you don't, when you start off, you don't want to be accelerating that hard. You want to drive for a few minutes to let the transmission fluid get up to proper temperature. You will notice some sluggishness with the transmission response, maybe even slipping a little bit. But let's drive here and just listen, and you'll see what I'm talking about because it's still cold. As you heard there, it's a little bit slow on the response. Also, you can experience a little bit of slipping when the transmission fluid is too cold. That's why you want to warm it up and drive slow at the beginning till it gets up to operating temperature. Here we have another situation, not as cold of a day, but let's check here and I'll show you what it is right now. And if you look up here in the left-hand corner of the screen there, we're at 32. So a big difference from the last time. So watch now when I start it. This will still start off with higher RPMs because the ECU is allowing the idle air control valve to open up more to get air in quicker, to get the operating temperature up faster because of it being colder temperatures. But you'll notice here, because it's 22 degrees warmer than it was on the last scene, it's going to get down to its 700 RPMs quick. You can see it already dropping there. Didn't take that long at all. So obviously in this case, I'm not going to let it sit. And at this point, I would start driving it. Still looking at the temperature gauge for the water temperature. If you want, before you turn your heat on, you want that needle to be above the cold. But you can see the operating temperature, the operating RPMs of the vehicle. It reached that very quick because of it not being as cold.
So a good rule of thumb to use is if the temperatures are just like a regular warm, nice day, not cold or anything, you don't really need to let it idle, because idling the car too long, especially on newer vehicles with fuel injection and things like that, you can actually wear out the engine. Also, you can also increase the carbon footprint. There's a lot of states where it's actually a misdemeanor to be letting your car idle because of environmental reasons, which I don't agree with, but those are the laws. I'll have those lists of the states on the screen right now. But rule of thumb, if it's nice weather, you start the car, you're good to go. And a lot of times you'll see your RPMs will reach its its range fast. If you're in cool temperatures, like anything like not 32 or lower, I would say maybe wait 30 seconds or so just until that needle drops, which is pretty quick. Now, if you're dealing with below zero and below freezing, things like that, as we saw in the video, might take a little more time. That's what I usually do. I usually wait maybe 60 seconds is roughly what it takes. So you figure you're in the car, you start the car, you're getting set up, checking your mirrors, putting your seatbelt on, things like that. A lot of times that's sufficient time right there. But I look at that RPM needle. If it's still high and it's trying to take in air to get the engine to warm up quicker, I usually just wait for that. I know some people might disagree. Some people say you shouldn't warm up your car. Now, I wouldn't let it sit there warming up for a long period of time, unless, of course, you have ice on your windshield or you're trying to heat the car up, it's freezing in there. Then, you turn on your heat, you wait for the water temperature to move up. That way you can start getting some heat in the vehicle, thawing out the windshields, things like that. But another thing that you want to consider also is that even after you start driving and it's very cold, as we saw in the video, your automatic transmission is going to be slow and kind of sluggish until the transmission fluid heats up. So if you don't want to sit there and wait for it to warm up, and a lot of people recommend starting to drive anyway, that's better than just letting it sit there. Just make sure that you drive it more gently. You don't want to be accelerating hard because you will notice the transmission response can be sluggish and slipping a little bit like that. So first few minutes, just kind of go slow until it kind of warms up, things start moving like that. And another thing, if you have an all-wheel drive vehicle, sometimes those can be a little bit different. So you want to check your manual and see what they recommend when it pertains to that, as far as with the transmission with that one as well. Just wanted to shoot this quick video because dealing with the cold temperatures here, I was out there with my car, figured I'd just shoot this video. So I hope that this video was informative for you, helped you out. I know people have different views on this. Some people say you should warm up your car. Some people say you shouldn't. I know with newer cars, they say letting it idle too much can actually wear it out. You can also, with the injecting of the fuel in there, you can also affect some of the lubricants in there, wash that off, cause problems, things like that. I've heard that as well. Older cars with carburetors, warming up the vehicle was more essential to prevent stalling out and things like that. So please send me any questions and comments. I would love to hear from you. I hope that this video was informative for you and helped you out. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.